Hi, I'm Niall Heaney from Gulfstream Boat Sales. Today I want to show you around this Cobalt 200 bow rider. It's a 2007 boat. It's fitted with a Mercruiser 4.3 litre MPI fuel injected 220 horsepower stern drive engine. That engine has only got 71 hours on the clock. It's a really nice boat. Cobalt are at literally the top of the tree whenever it comes to American sports boats. Really high-end fit and finish. Great solid boat. It's 22.5 feet long, so it's a big boat as well. It's rated to carry up to 8 passengers plus gear, and it is in very nice condition throughout. We're going to take a walk around the boat now. We're going to show you the condition that it's in. We're going to show you all the features inside it. We're also going to put it in the water and give it a run to show you how it performs underway. So Cobalt boats have a fantastic reputation. They're an extremely expensive boat to buy brand new. I mean, this type of model will easily set you back maybe 80 or 90 grand or something. I don't even know at the minute, to be honest with you, but they're very expensive to buy brand new, and they are a really striking looking boat. Even this one, an 07 model, it still looks very up to date. They've sort of kept the sort of slab-sided shape. They've kept the same sort of rake to the nose and things right up to the modern day, so they're instantly recognizable. If you're familiar with the brand at all, you can sort of tell, you know, from 100 yards away, a Cobalt boat bow rider just by the shape of it. And this one is follows that pattern. So it's a very rich, very classy looking boat. Really nice bright white gel coat with this, just this single sort of cherry red boot stripe that rises up and tapers up to the nose. That tapers into this stainless steel scuff plate, which you can't really see while the boat's on the trailer, but it's a really nice, highly polished stainless steel scuff plate up at the D-ring on the bow. It looks the part. Stainless steel rub rail, all stainless steel cleats and hardware throughout the boat. There's a really nice shine of the gel coat on this one. Taking a walk down along the port side of her, and it's in really good condition. There's one bit of damage here actually. If you look close, where it's had a bit of a knock. Now it has been filled there. There's a couple of wee sort of stress cracks around that, but the rub rail itself is okay. And other than that, the rest of that port side of the boat looks really good. So it's a nice sort of ice white. We've got this chrome engine room cover on her as well. So it's your engine room vent in chrome. Stainless steel cleat up here. Nice raised Cobalt lettering and Cobalt badge. Coming all the way back to the corner then, on the port side. Again, it's sort of swept back here. It's in good condition. This boat has the extended swept platform fitted as well. Rub rail wraps all the way around the transom and the stern. Then you got this nice chunky stainless steel rail that goes around that extended swim platform, and it's all in good condition. Wee minor nick down here as well, where it's maybe caught something just on the red, but like for a boat of its age, it is in remarkably good order. The nose of the boat's in good condition. This one, as far as we know, it's only ever been used in fresh water, and it hasn't spent a whole lot of time in the water to our knowledge, so it's been launched and recovered a bit, but there's not much of the usual trailer damage. Very little actually. Actually, there's no damage in the gel coat. One tiny wee nick here that has been filled, but there's not much in the way of trailer damage or anything on the nose, which is good. Then taking a look at the starboard side of the boat, again, it's in very good condition. We've got stainless steel cleat. The rub rail's in good shape down this side. The gel coat looks good as well, all the way down. There's one little area here where there's, I don't know it's obviously been sitting, maybe rubbing on something, I don't know what's caused that, but there's a wee bit of sort of pock marking on the gel coat. It hasn't gone through the gel or anything, and again, you sort of have to be fairly close to notice it, but there's a wee bit of damage there on the gel. Other than that, the rest of the rail's good, the rest of the gel coat's good. The windscreen surround is good also. It's the original aluminium windscreen surround, not corroded or anything, again because it's a freshwater boat. That all contributes to that. Fuel fill point here, fuel tank vent, engine room vent on this side's in good condition. The Cobalt badge on the starboard side's perfect, and coming all the way back to the corner, the stern corner on the starboard side, it's in perfect condition, both above and below the rub rail there. This boat was sold originally by the Cobalt importer at the time. So it was a company called Sheelan Boats, so they were importing Cobalts into Ireland back in 06, 07, that time. So that was sold originally by them, so it's a proper European spec boat, CE certified. I think it's had 2 owners from new, and it has been, to our knowledge, only ever used on the Shannon system here in Ireland, so that's been freshwater use. So you don't have any of the saltwater corrosion issues that you'll find on boats that have been used in the sea, so that really does help the longevity of these boats if they have been used primarily in fresh water. So it's a good solid history with this thing. It has been fitted with the optional extended swim platform, so that takes up the length. I think it's a 200 is the model, which is alluding to the fact that it's pretty much 20 foot long, but it's 20 foot 4 inches long to the back of the transom, and then the swim platform adds another 2 feet, so it's just under 22.5 feet overall length with the extended swim platform. The boat is 8 foot 6 inches wide. It's a very beamy boat, big broad thing, which makes her very stable in the water. And it's pretty heavy for a 20 foot bow rider. It's over 1,700 kilos in weight, which again sort of shows you how well laid up and constructed these Cobalts are. They are a real solid heavy boat. They feel very solid and secure in the water. So a lot of that comes from the sheer weight of the thing running through the water. So it's 1,700 kilos in weight, and it's got a 20-degree V on the transom, so nice deep V, so it cuts through chop really well also, so it's a nice smooth running boat. Taking a close look at the back end of her then, because you've got the extended swim platform, you end up with like a 2-tiered swim platform arrangement, which is quite nice. This one has this nice chrome bar wrapped all the way around the platform, which is in good condition. Wee nick in it, wee little bit of bump here, probably maybe from reversing the garage or something. We've got a nice fold out Cobalt stainless steel bathing ladder, so it folds out from the side, keeps you well away from the stern drive and the prop if you're climbing off and on the boat, with an integrated handrail here. We then have this little molded in step up to the integrated swim platform across the back, so it means you can sit here, put on water skis or wakeboards or things like that if you're doing water sports with the boat. It also means this is at waterline level, so it's really easy to get off and on the boat if you're swimming and things. Or similarly, if you're stepping on the boat from a marina, with a big swim platform, it makes it a cinch to get on and off the boat, and it really does add a lot of usable space to it. It makes it feel a lot more spacious, I think. There's a centre walk-through then in the transom, giving you access down into the boat, so you don't have to climb over seat cushions, although there are filler cushions that go in there whenever you're inside the boat. A couple of other features to point out back here at the swim platform are this wet locker here on the port side, so it's just a lined locker that drains overboard, so you could use that as a bit of an ice box or a live well or something if you're fishing off the boat. And then the other thing is this wee dedicated storage compartment here for this key, which is a fuel key for starters, so you can open your fuel tank with it, but you can also pop up this extendable ski pole, so you just twist it that way to unlock it, lift it up, and the pole locks in position, so you've got a nice slightly elevated point for pulling skiers or water toys or wakeboarders or things like that. And whenever you're not using it, you just twist it around, pop it back down and lock it in position, and it's totally flush with the deck. So it's a nice neat wee touch as well. You've got your socket for your anchor light over on the starboard side. So the boat's fitted with that MerCruiser 4.3 litre MPI. It's a multi-point fuel injected engine. So it's got turnkey start and automatic idle speed control, really nice motor, it makes 220 horsepower, and it's matched up this Alpha 1 stern drive leg. So this boat has had very low hours on it. The engine, the ECU, is showing 71 hours on the clock from new, so the boat's only ran for 71 hours. Now, the current owner has replaced the long motor, so in July of 2019, so just not even a year ago, there was a new long motor installed. The reason for that was he failed to winterize it. I think it was actually the previous owner failed to winterize it at one point, and the block cracked. So the block was replaced. The boat wasn't really used in between times. The current owner bought the boat, I think maybe a year ago, with the problem sort of unbeknownst to him, and he had the engine replaced in July of last year. So that reused all the original ancillary components, including the ECU and all those components, so that the hours and everything are original to the boat. So 71 hours is what the boat has run from new. But it was just the core engine from the rocker cover to the sump was replaced in July 19. So that new engine has probably only run, the owner reckons, maybe 10 hours in total. So it's only got 10 hours on the new core engine. Everything else is original to the boat, including this stern drive leg. It's in good condition. The anodes and stuff are good, the rubber bellows are good, the gimbal bearing was replaced whenever the engine was done. I'll show you, we've got the paperwork, the invoice and things for that, so I'll show you that, but the drive was obviously off and serviced whenever the engine was replaced. Gimbal bearing was changed, and all that type of stuff, so it's all in really good condition. The only thing that you can really fault the mechanics on at the minute is this skeg has had a crack. Now, this is basically the reason why the owner is selling the boat, because where he keeps it, he has a house on the lake, on the Shannon system here in Ireland, and his berth is very shallow, so he's actually selling the boat in order to buy a jet boat, because he needs a shallower draft machine. So he did do this bit of damage to the skeg during the summer, and he also did a bit of damage to the prop, so he's replaced the prop, so there's a brand new prop on there. Now the prop shaft and everything's perfectly straight. We've ran the boat, there's totally smooth, there's no problems with it at all. So it's got a new 18-inch 4-blade Solus propeller, and the skeg, we just didn't have time to get it repaired or welded, but it is possible to repair that, to put a weld on it, to put that back to its original size. But this is purely, the job of the skeg is just really to protect the propeller, so it sort of hits before the propeller hits. So it's really a cosmetic thing down there, but if you want, we can get that repaired before the boat goes. But other than that, the stern drive's in really good condition, bellows are good, all the hydraulic hoses are good, there's no leaks from the rams, and it's obviously been fully serviced in July of 19. It's only done 10 hours since then, so it's good to go. You can see we've got super solid brackets here on the transom of the boat holding on the swim platform. The rest of the transom is in nice condition, and you've got that 20-degree V dead rise on the transom too, so nice deep V hull that makes for a nice smooth ride in the water. So just to show you the paperwork, we've got the original Cobalt owner's handbook, we've got the original VAT invoice for whenever the boat was first bought in April 2007, and we have the receipts for the work that was done in July 2019. So you can see we've got a new long block Mercruiser motor, exhaust manifolds, there was temperature sensor change, supply new gimbal bearing, refit engine oil and gear lube. So that was all done. There was €8,000 spent on the boat in July 19 to replace that long motor. So the benefit of that is you basically have a brand new long motor with less than 10 hours on it, and the rest of the mechanical components, the things like alternators, ECUs, harness, stern drive, has all only got 71 hours on the clock. So nice fresh package, and it should be trouble-free for the foreseeable future. So with the little moulded in steps here and this sort of two-tiered swim platform arrangement, boarding the boat is a breeze, and then you've also got this centre walk-through as well, so you can climb into the cockpit without having to step on seat cushions and things like that. All the tread surfaces are all moulded, non-skid too, so a real easy boat to get in and out of. We've got a nice sun pad across the transom. There is a filler cushion that slots in here. So whenever you put that filler cushion in there, and there's another one for the seat base. This pops in here, and then you've basically got a full width transom sun pad and full width bench seat across the rear of the cockpit. So you can do a bit of sun lounging and things out here. Upholstery is all the original upholstery. High quality stuff with nice red piping to complement the red boot stripe and the red canvas on this boat. Unfortunately, there's a couple of wee tears in this cushion over on the starboard side, but they're all localized within this sort of quilted bit. So you could probably take it to, if you had a good upholstery guy, take it and just get that one section replaced, and if there was a wee slight colour variation or something, you could do the exact same on the other side. So apart from that, the rest of the cushions back here, seat backs, seat bases, and even the helm seats and things are all very good. So it's literally just that one wee area there that lets the upholstery down a wee bit, but other than that, it is in very good condition. The boat is supplied with a few different covers. So we have a flat tonneau cover and a bow cover, which you would use if you're storing the boat, if it's parked in the marina, or if you're towing the boat on the road. So they're easy to fire on and off, the bow cover, tonneau cover. We've got this huge bimini top as well, so it's the original factory bimini top. And you'll notice again, because it's a Cobalt, it's sort of real, like almost overkill. There's loads of support bars. It has this additional strengthened bar on either side. It makes it really super solid. It's almost like a bit of scaffolding. You can nearly work off the top of this bimini. But the canvas is really good. All the stainless steel bars are in good condition, and it's a really nice bimini top. Completely covers the entire cockpit, so a great sunshade, and it would give you a bit of protection in the rain too if you so happen to be out in the rain. But just the bimini top. We'll fold this up now and put it in its boot to throw a bit more light into the cockpit before we go around the cockpit, but I just wanted to show you the bimini before we fold it away. For a 20-foot bow rider, the cockpit feels very spacious, and that's mainly because it's 8 foot 6 inches wide, so it's a very broad beam in the boat, so you got a nice wide cockpit. Also feels very luxurious, nice high-end feel and fit and finish to it. And you get that from the fact that it is nice plush upholstery. There's very thick padding on the seat bases and backrests. You've got fully upholstered side panels down here. Everything is all stainless steel handrails and stuff. Even these little upholstered armrests for a passenger, you never see this on any other sort of boat. Even for the helmsman, there's two on this boat, but usually there's no sort of consideration given for armrests at all. You've got these nice recess areas for cup holders, 2 cup holders back here, 1 up at the passenger seat, the same on the starboard side of the boat. We've got nice snap-in carpets, which are still in very good condition as well. Again, because this boat's low hours, hasn't seen a whole lot of use. They are your standard rubber back carpets, but they're not really starting to degrade or anything. Nice grey colour, and it's all moulded fiberglass underneath that, so if you did want to pull the carpets out and just use the boat without the carpets, you could do that. The deck's all moulded non-skid. There's another 4 stereo speakers in the cockpit back here, so you total of 6 speakers altogether throughout the boat, and great bucket style helm seats, helm and passenger seats with flip up bolsters, really nice dash and things like that. One of the things that is a great feature in this boat as well is the bow door, so you can close off the entire front end of the boat with the windscreen closed over and that bow door closed. It stops the wind whistling through the boat. So if you say there's not a whole lot of people on the boat, and say it's a bit cool, or you're out early morning or late evening, just keep the bow door closed and it's going to feel pretty cozy inside the cockpit. Even the backseat passengers, you're looking through the windshield, so they're going to get the wind deflected over the tops of their heads. It's going to be a nice, comfortable place to sit. You're not going to get blown around. You're going to be able to have a conversation with your passengers and things like that. And then whenever you do need the bow area, you can open it up. You can even open it up, send the kids out and close it again, so they can be out there having a blast with the wind blowing through, buffeting them around, and the adults can be sitting back here in comfort. So it's a small thing, but those bow doors are a great feature, and you don't tend to find them a lot on boats of this size. It tends to be bigger boats, but because this one's a Cobalt, they sort of, throughout the range, they're using all the sort of high-end features and additional extras and stuff, so that's a really good thing. To get access out into the bow area, you can fold this windscreen section over and it locks into this little stainless steel catch. Again, it's like a positive locking catch. If you want to release that, you've got to push that little button in to pull it out, to release it. So it means that the screen can't inadvertently flip over. And then we've got this split folding bow door, which, as I said, does a great job of keeping the wind from whistling through the boat. But whenever you want to use the bow, it's pretty easy to open, and it folds flush against the side molding here, and you get a nice walkway out into the bow area. The bow area itself is really nicely upholstered, full wraparound upholstery, nice sort of scooped backrests, big stainless steel handrails on the sides. You got a recessed cup holder on either side. You've also got a speaker on either side here as well, so it's a nice comfortable bow to sit in. Plenty of room for 2 adults or 3 kids up here. Because it's all the way, you've got a backrest the whole way around, means somebody could sit there up at the very front and keep an eye on the action behind the boat if you're doing a bit of water sports. Upholstery's in perfect condition up here. Carpets are great as well. Handrails are all super solid. Everything's in good shape. There's a little interior light down there on the floor as well. We've got our anchor locker up front, which is moulded. The top surface is moulded, so you can step on this if you're boarding the bow of the boat. Little gas strut lifts up the locker lid, and you get room to store an anchor in there. A lot of these freshwater boats don't have anchors with them, so this boat doesn't have an anchor with it. And then there's a ton of storage up here as well. So underneath both of these backrests on the port and starboard side, you've got huge big storage compartments. in the console. So this is in behind the helm console, but it's totally panelled off, so there's no wires or anything in there. So if you are storing gear in there, a lot of lesser boats, they would just have the back of that dash bare. So if you looked in there, you'd be seeing gauges and wires and things hanging down. Not on the Cobalt. They have put a carpeted panel in there to screen all that off, so there's no chance of you catching, snagging a wire, maybe pulling a wire out of the back of a gauge or something. It's all interconnected too underneath here. So, and underneath this forward cushion as well. So you can store longer items. You possibly get a ski or kids skis or something in there out of the way. And it's all fully carpet lined too. So lots of storage space up here, and it's easy to access. You don't have to really move guests or anything. These ones in particular, these backrest ones, are a breeze to get to. All the hinges are super solid, piano style hinges. The upholstery up here, as I said, is in perfect condition too. It's just a really nice, usable bow area on this boat. There's a good bit of storage throughout the cockpit. Underneath this seat cushion here, we have fully fiberglass lined storage compartment with a little drain hole, so any water finds its way in there will drain into the bulge and the pump can lift it overboard. But you've got your battery isolator switch in there, and you've also got a dedicated storage spot for a fire extinguisher. That is, it doesn't go fully over there, it goes, the locker comes over to around about here. And the reason that it doesn't go fully over is because on the other side we have an integrated cool box. So this side is a dedicated cooler. So again, it flips forward, just get that out of the way. And this is like an insulated cool box or ice box, so you can fire a bag of ice in there at the start of the day, and it should, because it's insulated, should stay cool all day long. And then whenever it melts, again, there's a drain in that, it runs into the bulge and pumps overboard. So it's another nice little feature to have as well. We've got a big ski locker then underneath the floor. Rubberized mat on the floor of that, so if you're putting stuff in there, it's not going to rattle around. But you can see we've got some of the poles for the bimini support and the anchor light in there now at the minute. But that runs right up underneath the bow, so you'll fire wakeboards and skis and all sorts of gear, fenders and dock lines and stuff in there without any problem. All the hinges and clips and catches are all working perfectly. There's a beautiful helm position on the boat, really comfortable, oversized helm seat, proper American helm seat. So it's bucket style seat. You can rotate it around to face your rear seat passengers and things like that. It has a flip up bolster, and again it's a big wide bolster. It's not, normal bolster is about almost half that width, but wide bolster, so it's comfortable to sit on over longer periods of time, and that will give you a great visibility over the top of the windscreen. Means if you're coming in to berth the boat, you can get a better look at what's happening outside, and also if you're pulling skiers and things, you can keep a closer eye on people in the water. But whenever you're sitting down, you're looking straight through the screen. Great protection for the windscreen. As I said, we've got this nice upholstered armrest here, throttle and shift lever, recessed cup holder down in here, 5-position tilt adjust on the steering wheel, so it's pretty easy to get a comfortable steering position, and you get a little raised footrest there as well. The dash itself has a real rich look to it with this little bit of sort of light wood trim. We've got a nice leather wrap on top and a full range of marine instruments. So we've got a temperature gauge, oil pressure gauge, speedo, fuel gauge, tacho, volts and trim. And then just to run through the switch gear, we've got a bilge blower. It's a bit noisy, but it is working. Bilge pump, navigation lights, interior lights. There's a couple of interior lights in the cockpit, and there's another one out in the bow, and there's also engine room lights in this boat too, which we'll show you in a minute. Docking lights is not a feature that this boat has, so that's redundant. Ignition switch, horns working, accessory switch. This top accessory switch there's an electric engine hatch lift on this, so this lifts the hatch, and then this one is probably a spare, or else it might be charging this or putting power to this 12-volt socket, so you get a little 12-volt socket there for charging a phone or something. We've also got an integrated depth finder here on this boat, and a temperature gauge for air water. So you flick this little switch to switch between air temperature and water temperature. Water temperature is not working at the moment because we're not in the water. There's a little remote control for the Sony stereo here as well, although I'm not sure if that's working. I'll talk more about the stereo in a minute. So lovely dash, nice and clear, easy to read everything. But what we're going to do is put the boat through its paces in the water. So we're going to take it to the water, and I'll shoot a bit of onboard footage so you can see exactly how the dash looks from the driver's seat, how the boat performs from the helm seat, and also from the shoreline. But it's a really nice running boat, gets up on plane quickly, but we'll talk about that whenever we're on the water. So let's lift the hatch and have a look under the hood. Just hit this button here, that operates the electric engine hatch. She's running well, nice and smooth. No leaks or anything. Everything looks good in there. So let's stick it into gear here and put her on the plane. Just to show you the dash briefly, we've got temperature gauge, which is sitting bang on 175 degrees Fahrenheit, which is good. Even there, whenever I was doing all my full speed running around, it never budged above 175. Oil pressure gauge is working, showing good oil, 20 psi at idle. Obviously with it being a new engine, you expect that to be good. It's going up to over 40, almost 60 with high RPM. Speedo is working, which you'll see in a minute. Fuel gauge is working, even though there's not much fuel in it. I put 20 or 30 litres in before we came out to do the sea trial, so the gauge is working. Whenever it's on the trailer, it's moving. The tacho is not working, that's not functioning at the moment. Voltmeter working, showing over 13 volts, so it's charging okay. And the trim gauge is working as well. We're fully trimmed down now for putting the boat on plane. So let's get lined up and drop the throttle. So not much bow rise there whenever it goes on plane. Boat stays really level, so you can still see where you're going okay. This is your sort of comfortable cruising speed. Now we don't have an RPM gauge, so we can't say for certain, but just from the sound and feel of the engine, I reckon it's turning about 3,000 RPM now. And we're doing about 25, 27 miles an hour. Boat's really comfortable, nice and smooth. I can let go of the steering wheel, let go of the throttle lever. Pretty much drives itself. Take a look at the wake. Nice, even, well balanced wake, so if you wanted to do water sports or wakeboarding or anything, it's a pretty decent wake for that. the boat is running really nice. All these Cobalts, every Cobalt I've ever driven has always been impressive to drive. They're just so solid in the water. Great hull design. You can just, if you want to just cruise along at sort of half throttle at around about 25, 28 miles an hour. It's super comfortable, sits nice and level in the water, great visibility from the out through the screen, very nice supportive seat and things here, and the little armrest is great if you're on a longer journey, and it just sort of cruises in total comfort and luxury. There's no squeaks or rattles or anything, but if you do want to act a bit of a hooligan, you can as well. This one, the 220 horsepower, is a good match. The hull gets up and goes really quickly. It will run, I was seeing about 46, 47 miles an hour flat out, and that's with an 18 pitch propeller, which is quite a small pitch prop. Very good for water sports, means the acceleration's a lot faster, but you could pitch that up, maybe go to a 19 or a 21, and the boat will easily break 50 miles an hour. And through all the high speed turns, I was doing full throttle turns, there wasn't even a hint of cavitation. The hull just grips the water, and it's a really fun handling boat too, so you sort of get the best of both worlds. Comfortable cruising and really aggressive handling whenever you want to. Everything's pretty much working on her, bar the taco on the dash, and just a nice comfortable boat to drive. Lives up to what I would expect from a Cobalt, and really cut above the rest of your sort of bog standard American sports boat. So the front seat passenger gets the exact same seat as the helmsman, so nice big wraparound bucket style seat with the big wide bolster on it as well. Again, it's fully adjustable, so you can rotate round to face the back of the boat. And because this boat is freshwater and has only ever been used in freshwater, all these mechanisms and things are all working fine. If this was a saltwater boat and had been in a salty environment its entire life, you would find that all this stuff starts to seize up, and it's a bit of a nuisance. But freshwater ones definitely they age a hell of a lot better than saltwater boats. Upholstery in this is perfect, as it is on the helm seat. Nice dash panel here, big handrail across the front. Again, this matching bit of wood trim that you have on the dash for the helmsman. 200 badge model identifier. This boat has a Sony stereo. I think we need the ignition on. And the stereo is powering up, but it doesn't seem to be responding too well to button pushing. But that's nothing new really. These marine stereos have a hard life. It's the original stereo. If you took it to somebody who specialises in stereo repairs, you possibly could get it fixed, or you just stick a new one in. If it was my boat, I'd probably put a new Bluetooth stereo in. It means you can play everything off your phone and stuff. Let's turn on the interior lights, because there's a little light in here as well. So you've got an illuminated glove box. You've another 12 volt power socket there as well, which is great if you want to charge a phone or something. Just plug it in and fire it in the glove box. Again, all the hinges and clips and catches are all working perfectly. A little recess panel here for storing odds and ends, and a cup holder and a raised foot rest as well. So, and this armrest over on this side. So a really nice helm seat, passenger seat up forward here. You'll be the talk of the marina with your electric engine hatch lifter. This is, people get really excited about these for some reason. You don't tend to find them on boats of this size. Yes, on some bigger cruisers, but not really on bow riders. So you're probably going to stand out if you've got an electric hatch lifter on a 20-foot bow rider. So it lifts on the hatch. You've got this gas strut to assist on the other side, and this being a Cobalt and given their fanatical attention to detail, you also have a little manual. So you can drop that down and it locks it in position there. So it means that if you're working on the boat and anything happens, the hatch lifter, it's not going to crash down on top of you. So it's a nice little touch as well. So engine bay is very spacious, loads of room all the way around this Mercruiser 4.3 MPI. As I have explained, this is the sort of the original package, but it's had a new core engine. So from the rocker covers to the sump is brand new in July 2019 with like less than 10 hours on it. Everything else has only got 71 hours on it. So super low hours package. because it's been fresh water used as well, it's all very clean and tidy. There's very little corrosion anywhere around it. The manifolds and risers are in good condition. We've got the trim motor bracket back there. You know, everything is in nice shape. It's starts on the button as well because it's the multi-point fuel injection. Very fuel efficient engines, got 220 horsepower, so it's a good match for the boat. Starts automatic idle speed control, nice smooth running thing, and it's a good match to the hull. There's a brand new battery within the boat last year as well. That was fitted in the summer of 2019. And there's a little bit of storage down there. You'll notice like the wakeboard rack there. So that's designed, you can slot a wakeboard in there and store it down that side. And you've got these panels on both sides as well. So if you are storing gear down along the sides, it's not going to run in underneath the engine. So nice, clean, tidy engine bay. As I said, new engine in July 2019, fully serviced, everything taken care of, and ready to go for the coming 2020 season. One last thing to point out here is this little hour clock. So you can actually hear it clicking away. It's a little quartz hour meter. Now it's a wee bit fogged up just because it's very cold today, but you've got 123 hours displaying on this clock. The reason for the discrepancy, there's 71 hours showing on the engine ECU, and that's gospel. So that 71 is a record of how long that engine has been running. Whenever that engine starts, the ECU is recording hours. Whenever you stop it, it stops recording hours. This boil is wired to the ignition switch. So for example, now we're sitting with the stereo on. You have to have the ignition on. Or the depth sounder or air temperature thing, you've got to have the ignition on. So whenever the ignition is turned on, this is counting hours. So that's why this is showing 123 hours and the engine's showing 71 hours. That's the difference, is the been sitting with the ignition on. But anyway, either way you cut it, it's super low hours, but that engine is run for 71 hours, and that is the original engine package that was supplied with the boat. So there you go, really nice tidy engine bay, super high quality engineering. Even look at the back of this engine cover, like that's as good a quality finish gel coat as there is on the outside of the boat, and it's all stainless steel brackets and things. Everything about it is in really nice condition. The boat is being sold complete with this trailer that you see it sitting on. Now it is a factory Cobalt trailer. You see the Cobalt 200 badge on it. This is what they're sold on in the States. Same age as the boat. It is an American trailer, however, so it's like a painted frame. Now, because this boat's only ever been in fresh water, it's still in good condition. The frame and things is super solid. It's twin axle, and the boat came here on this trailer, but it's not a UK road legal trailer. But anyway, it's included in the boat, perfect for launching and recovering, and it's a solid trailer that's coming free with the boat. So there you have it. That's our 2007 Cobalt 200 Bowrider with the Mercruiser 4.3 MPI. It's a beautiful boat, really high-end fit and finish, great design all the way throughout, lots of nice clever little design touches, great little features. It feels and drives like a much bigger boat, very solid on the water. It's very refined, very sharp looking, classy looking boat with very stylish lines as well. So just a really nice Cobalt boat with only 71 hours on the clock, nice condition throughout, and yes, very seriously for sale. The owner's decided it doesn't suit him in his current location, and he's definitely selling the boat. He's open to offers, and we're more than happy to help you with arranging a survey, logistics of figuring out how to get the boat home. If you need help with registration or any of that sort of stuff, please don't hesitate to ask. The best way to get in touch with me is by giving me a call on the number at the top of the webpage, or send me an email to sales@gulfstreamshop.com, or fill out the callback request form on this page of the site, and I'll give you a call at a time that's convenient. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch the video. I hope you found it useful.